Thursday, Friday. I'm sorry, normally the class starts at 5 p.m. on Central Time, but due to me being an insurance agent, I never know, how long appointments and stuff like that's going to last. So I apologize for the wait, but we're still always going to get a session out there. So, chapter 2, this one is titled The Time Value of Money. So let's hop right into it. It says the time value of money is the concept that money available to you now is worth more than the same amount in the future because of its potential to earn interest. So, in other words, money saved today is worth more money saved tomorrow. It says, I ain't much, I'm sorry, I ain't much, oh, I'm sorry. It ain't much I'm asking if you want the truth. Here's the future. Hear the cry of youth. I want it all. I want it all. I want it all, and I want it now. So that was written by a lady named Queen. It says, time is money, especially when the time is now. Queen Anthem's nails in the mindset of the sucker perfectly. It says every corner of society offers instant gratification and immediate employment with a pain-free purchase. Feel the impulse to shop. It says feel the impulse to shop. Your favorite brand has an app for that. Time to pay taxes. File at turbo speed. Owe a friend cash. Square it away with the text. Even today's churches let you tithe with the tap. Have you ever asked yourself why everyone wants to make it so easy for you to spend your money? A, is it because they value you? Come on, not to be that naive. B, because they value your money? Getting closer. C, because they want your money, they want it all, and they want it now. Of course, the answer is C. Make no mistake, we live in an ASAP world. You have been conditioned to want everything ASAP because you want your money ASAP. Every dollar has its own little stopwatch inside of it. The sooner you press the button, the sooner each dollar starts earning interest. Money you put to work today has potential to earn more interest than money you put to work tomorrow. Why? Because it has more time to grow. Those who know how money works never want to waste a single day of earning potential. Do you think it has the coincidence that taxes are taken out of paychecks now, but tax refunds are not paid until the next year? Ever wondered why financial companies hold funds for a few days rather than release them to you immediately? But it could be the same reason that markets beg you to act now. They want it all and they want it now. But if they owe it to you, they'll pay it only after they've squeezed out every every possible day of earning. They're not doing anything wrong. It says they're just taking full advantage of the time value of money. It's time you do too. So let's do it, y'all. Let's learn. It says TikTok, when the money comes, time is precious. Another way to think of time value of money in terms of how many years you have left to grow your savings. Let's do some reverse engineering. Think about how many years you have left until you pay off your car loan or home mortgage, your kids go to college or you retire, your savings run out in retirement. It says, don't freak out. Knowing those numbers creates urgency, and urgency drives action. Now we're getting somewhere. Take a breath and consider the three time tested actions to leverage the time value of money. So these are three time tested actions to leverage the time value of money. So, number one is start now. Now is always the best time to start. Number two is save regularly. It says get the highest interest rate possibly. Number three, be patient. Good things come to those who wait. It says think back. And again, they have like little quotes in the book. So it says, think back. I didn't start saving regularly and patiently until I was about 30. Would it have made that much of a difference if I started in my early 20s? So let's find out. It says, important question, George. Let's take a look at that. It says starting earlier can make a significant difference. It's true. Saving less early, or I'm sorry. It's true. Saving less earlier cash crush, saving more later. It says, look at this scenario with Sarah and George, both saving for retirement. Sarah starts at 22 but stops saving at age 30. George starts saving at 30 and continues until retirement age. Both earn a consistent 9% interest rate compounded monthly. So Sarah starts saving at age 22, sets aside $4,000 a year, which is $333 a month, for 8 years in a row. It says she stops at age 29, right? So her total is 1,417,517 or $575. George, on the other hand, it says starts saving at age 30. It says sets aside $4,000 a year, of course, that's 333 dollars and 33 cents a month for 38 years. So Sarah saved for 8 years. He saved for 38 years. And he stops at age 67. So his total was $1,306,683. And he literally started, it says he stopped at age 67 and she stopped at age 29. So it says Sarah has $110,892 more. George puts away 4.75 times more money than Sarah, but Sarah has more money in the end, all because she started saving earlier. So I hope you guys are hearing this, man. I love being able to learn because again, these aren't in my public schools at home. Goodness gracious, I'm not, but and then it has little comics from them. It says, "Goodness gracious, I'm not 22 anymore. I'm 49. How much would I need to save money to have $1 million by my 60s?" At your age, Sarah, you'll need to save about $2,000 monthly. The longer you wait to start saving, the more you need to come up with every month. Locate your age in this chart below and see how much you'll need to put it away. It says notice how much less it would be for you to start younger and how much more it would be when you wait. So right here it says how much do you need to save to hit $1 million by retirement? Here's how this chart works. It says find your age to see how much you need to save monthly and daily. Assumes 9% average annual interest rate compounded monthly based on retirement age of 67. So I'm 33. So I'm about to go on 34. So right here it just says 35, right? Nah, we're gonna knock it back to age 30. We ain't going to 35. All right, so we're gonna go to age 30. Age 30, monthly, $282 a month. That's $9 a day. Average income, right? $4,263 a month. And the percent of income needed, of course, would be 6.6%. So what we know is it says, why didn't someone show us this when we were younger? It says the more useful question is what do we do about it now? And I like that, right? We got to be proactive, right? Because I used to be that person like, man, I wasn't taught this. But that's why we're seeking to understand. So that way, we learned, So for one thing, I'm telling every 20-year-old I know, okay? Let's look at your numbers and remember, no wild guessers. So think about this. You can write this on a piece of paper. What's your current age, right? And then it says, based on this chart on the previous page, how much do you need to start saving each month to have $1 million by retirement age? So I'll use another example. Let's say you're 20 years old, right? Let's say you're a youth, right? Age 20, monthly amount is $113. That's $4 a day. It says average income $1,413 a month, and the percent of income needed is 8%. So I mean, it's possible to save, but what I tell people also, you can get yourself $1 million life insurance policy at a young age. That way, anything happened to you, you can still die a millionaire without ever chasing the money. Get a life insurance policy while you're healthy, while you're young. That's not in here, but I'm telling you, I'm a life insurance agent, and so I'm just trying to help y'all out. $1 million baby. It says the power of compounding and it says the power of compounding and the time value of money could help parents leave a new kind of legacy. And that's why I just mentioned life insurance. It says, according to the Department of Agriculture, the average cost to raise a child is $233,610. What if parents put aside just a fraction of that amount for each child before birth? $13,000 works well, as we'll see in a moment. If parents scraped around, worked extra hours, asked relatives for assistance, it says whatever it took, what could that do for a child's future and how much would a child lose if the parents waited until high school graduation to put away money? So it says, what if you put away 13,000 for each of your children? I don't have children yet, but I'm gonna write down on a piece of paper 13,000 because I think about my future kids, even though I'm not even in a relationship. But it's okay because I thought about adopting one day. So what if you put away 13,000 for each of your children? Here's how this chart works. It says assume that one lump sum of 13,000 is put away. Time frame shows that account growth for 67 years starting at birth. Time frame 2 shows the account growth for 49 years starting at age 18. And then that also assumes that at a 6.5% average annual interest rate compounded monthly. So time frame 1, it says one time $1,300 or I'm at $13,000 lump sum that grows from birth to age 67. So from birth it was 13,000, right? We do know that. Age 67, it's already at $1,442. Sorry, I thought you guys could see that. See, you start at 13,000 at birth. By age 67, $1,442. Okay, so it says age 18, 13,000. By age 67, $311,486. So here's another way that we could accomplish that same objective by putting away smaller lump sum plus in a monthly amount. It says if wrangling $13,000 before a child is born isn't feasible, parents can still leverage the power of compound interest, the time value of money. They could simply take the more, take the more in, incremental approach starting the month the child is born. Putting $2,500 down and adding $250 each month for 4 years. So it says, what if the $2,500 was put down and $250 was added every month for 4 years for each of your children? So here's how the chart works. It says assume that a one-time lump sum of $2,500 and $250 monthly for 4 years. Time frame 1 shows the account growth for 67 years starting at birth. Time frame 2 shows the account growth for 49 years starting at age 18. So again, it says assumes at 6.5% average annual interest rates compounded monthly. So 2,500 plus $250 per month for that 4 years grows from birth to age 67. So we see this birth $2,500 plus 12,000, right? It's gonna by age 67, that's $1,059. Literally, it's crazy, guys. Like everything makes sense when you put things into numbers, right? I learned that from life insurance, tracking numbers and just making things make sense. And that's something growing up, I couldn't make those kind of things make sense like it does now. So ignore the cat in the background. So we're almost through with this chapter, guys. Bear with me. Financial Literacy Friday, guys. We don't want to leave nothing out or nothing behind. It says a solution to one society's greatest financial blunders. It says one of the greatest financial blunders of society is dismissing the first 2 decades of a child's life as nothing more than a giant expense to parents. Instead, those years should be recognized for what they are, a valuable financial resource for the child. Capitalizing on these squandered decades is perhaps the most affordable, realistic way for parents to retire their children as millionaires. Hope that didn't go past anybody's head. Appreciate y'all. Um, I'm gonna read this part again. Dear future child, I'm talking to you. It says capitalizing on these squandered decades is perhaps the most affordable, realistic way for parents to retire their children as millionaires. So let's talk about it. It says, now I'm telling you guys, that's why I always say, like, if people were more smarter with our money, we wouldn't have to chase the money to become a millionaire. Get a $1 million life insurance policy while you're happy. I said while you're happy, while you're healthy. God forbid anything happened to you, you still die a millionaire. And you're able to leave your family with financial protection, right? But let's say y'all heard that from me. Nobody ever taught me how to die a millionaire like that. They didn't say, "Hey, Josh, get a $1 million policy. In the event of anything happened to you, you still die a millionaire." So then work on your hobbies in life. You don't got to chase money to be a millionaire. You can literally just know how to use your money and make it work for you. So which of these three scenarios is most likely to be possible? It says leave $1 million of inheritance. It says set aside $13,000 at birth, or set aside $2,500 at birth plus save $250 per month for 4 years. So ask yourself this question, because I'm gonna ask myself as well. It says, which one of these scenarios is most likely to be possible? One, leave $1 million of inheritance. I'd say that's something I definitely want to do. Set aside $13,000 at birth. Or three, set aside $2,500 at birth, save $250 per month for 4 years. Sorry, my cat, like, literally, he's trying to get in, but um, he don't pay no bills. So each of these three scenarios could create $1 million foundation by retirement. But two and three, it says, are less costly by far. And why is this, right? It says because they leverage the power of compound interest and the time value of money. Your financial professional, wink, wink. I'm not a professional. Well, I got my license. Yeah, I am a professional. Your financial, that was me being humble, trying to just learn with y'all, right? Your financial professional can help you design a plan for each of your children or grandchildren. There's also whole life insurance policies. There's IULs you could get for your kids. There's annuities. There's so many different things. It says the sucker who won't even have enough money It says the sucker who won't even have enough money for their own retirement hopes in vain to leave their children a small inheritance. The wealthy remove the need for inheritance by transforming their child's early years to earning years. So it says it's perhaps the most overlooked financial advantage of all time. It's one that almost every parent has missed. It could single-handedly wipe out the number one fear of retirees, which is not illness or even death. It's running out of money, right? So it says not even illness or death. It says running out of money is what people are most, fearful of. It says it's time that parents start maximizing the time value of money for each of their children. Start no later than birth. It's a society as a whole made this as a shift. So it says under here, it says, I don't mean to rain on the parade, but how do you prevent children from touching that money until they're 67? It says that's what trusts are for, Sarah. That's what trusts are for, Sarah. They hold and protect the money until the appointed time. It says according to data from the United States nation, 250 children are born into the world every minute. Imagine how many different lives, or how different lives would be if every family created a savings plan for their children that wouldn't be touched until the age of retirement, right? It says look like PT Barnum was way off. It's 250 suckers that are born every minute. He said that's a good one, George. And it says, wow, this would give children greater freedom to explore, fail, and find their purpose throughout their lives, all because their parents took this one revolutionary step for them. You start saving before you start walking. I love it. It's like every child's born $1 million baby. So, how the sucker thinks, I know saving is important, but that's just not a good time for me to deal with it. How wealthy thinks, here's the deal. Time is money. Every day counts. Building my financial future starts now. And then it says what we learned today, right? It says due to its growth potential, money I have tomorrow is more valuable than the money that I have, or I mean, due to its growth potential, money I have today is more valuable than the money I'll have tomorrow, right? So money I'll have today is more valuable than I'll have tomorrow. And then because time matters, I need to start saving as soon as possible, right? The earlier we begin saving, the better. And then knowing how much to save at my current age will help me nail my goals for retirement. So what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to post a picture on my social media of this chart. So that way any youth, any parents, you guys can find your age on here and you can find out how much you need to save monthly to put aside, right? Whether it's going to be $4 a day, $6 a day, $9 a day, or whatnot, to be able to leave, of course, that inheritance. Now, again, I am an life insurance agent. If anyone does not have any life insurance for your kids or for yourself, feel free to reach out to me. I'm licensed in 20 states. This is another way to be able to provide that financial peace of mind as well as clarity to our families and teach our kids and teach them about financial literacy. Say, hey, have you ever thought if something doesn't happen to me, I want to make sure that you are okay. I want to make sure that if you have a wife or a spouse that they can maintain those mortgage payments, right? You don't want your wife to lose the home because you didn't take time to figure out how financial protection worked, right? And how to protect your family. So, just wants to let everybody know. Again, you don't have to identify in money, but that doesn't mean that that we don't learn how to use money. So again, Financial Literacy Friday is all about learning this financial literacy, applying these tools, and sewing back into my community so these kids can have some basic financial literacy put in an easy way. And then also our parents, parents out there, for let's say there's a lot of, let's just be honest, guys, a lot of us, we have cars, all types of stuff, all different stuff, but I talk to people all day long in regards to life insurance. And you'd be surprised how many adults have no life insurance, literally no life insurance, but they have cars, homes, mortgages, all types of stuff. And then when it comes down to protecting our finances, how money works, you'd realize how many people, I'm being honest to the youth out there, you'd be honest how many people have a lot of material things, but just don't know how their money works. And so that's what we're doing is we're learning how our money works so it works for us, right? I'm telling you, you don't want to be the man on the phone that gets a call from somebody like me and you tell me that about your trucks, your cars, all this stuff. And then I ask you, in the event of you passing away, does your family have, in the event of you passing away, do you have a life insurance policy to protect your loved ones, right? To continue paying this mortgage? And they say, no. And then you're like, well, how you have all these investments and you're not even protecting them? Like, so if you pass away, now your wife has to sell the home. Now your kid has to switch different school districts because you wanted the big truck, the big house, the big everything else without understanding how the money works. So, guys, again, I share this because I'm telling you, if you're a life insurance agent out there or you ever go into that career, you're going to find out how financially illiterate this world is. And it's not, I don't say that to condemn because I was there too and I'm still learning. That's why we're learning together. But when I have a family and a home, I want to know how to protect it at all costs. And I don't want financial illiteracy to be the reason why my kids grieve when I pass away because I didn't take the time to protect them financially, or I didn't take the time to learn these different things, right? So learning this stuff today, guys, is going to help us tomorrow. Don't expect to hop in I Am Battle Strong 101 every Friday and listen and then be like, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire out of this. No, what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to handle our money, right? And we're going to learn so that way we can teach our future kids, right? So that way they don't got to grow up. Like we have so many people chasing. I want you guys to do an experiment. Ask Ask people around you if they have life insurance outside of work, and I guarantee you most people will tell you no. But then most people will tell you how to spend your money, right? Most people will tell you, try to talk to you about money and won't even have life insurance. I'm telling you guys, I dial hundreds and thousands of people a week, and it's like, I don't understand. It's like I've talked to fathers this week who said they know that their kids don't have financial protection in place. I've had fathers literally say that their kids can handle it on their own. This week, I've had people literally, I got a whole calendar right here booked of appointments. I've had people, of course, that value life insurance and understand the importance of their family. But I'm sorry, as a man, I will not lay with a woman, have a kid, and then refuse to get a life insurance policy because my trucks and my boats and my beer on the weekends is a lot more important. Guys, I'm telling you, if we have kids in this world, we need to take the time to seek to understand how to use our money. We need to. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Jayla. I appreciate you. Because guys, it's time for just no excuses. It's okay to mess up. Like we can mess up financially. It's okay. But let's prevent messing up and continue messing up, because the more intelligent I get with how money works, it's discouraging how, matter of fact, I'm gonna just end it with this. I'm gonna read this to you guys, and you guys, once I read this to the world, listen, I'm not responsible for no one. I feel responsible, right? That's why I'm doing all this. I used to be a preschool teacher. So, with that being said, I'm going to read this quote to you guys, and then we're going to end off on this. Because once you hear what I'm about to say, just like this hit me, once I read this, I said, Josh, as a man, as an adult, you have a responsibility. Okay? So, financial illiteracy impacts almost three-fourths of the world. It says financial literacy is the lack of education about money and finance, especially personal finance. It enables governments and corporations driven to meet the demands of stakeholders and shareholders to leverage the ignorance of citizens and customers of their own power and gain. Guys, this is out of love. We don't want to be those people. We don't want to be finessed out of our ignorance. We don't want people to leverage, right, the ignorance of us citizens or us even being customers for their own power and gain. We want to understand and say, nah, man, I know better. I know better now, how to use our money. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hey, let's go. I appreciate you, Jayla. That's what's up. That's so cool, man. That's awesome. It's nuts because I meet so many people. So I appreciate you, Jayla. Thank you so much, and I hope you're having an amazing Friday. But guys, this is all out of love. So the time I take out to do this again, I don't have kids, right? But I know this kid right here. Look, I'm gonna show y'all. This kid right here, this is me, right? And I know if I was a father right now, I would want this kid, if this was my son, I would want this kid to know how to survive. I want him to learn. I want him to understand. I don't want gatekeepers around him. I don't want people that are going to hide the truth from him and not tell him and then take advantage of his ignorance. So I'm telling you guys that if we don't become more financially sound, then people will take advantage of our ignorance. And so, with that being said, I'm going to just close this out in prayer real quick. And yeah, we'll go from there. Dear Lord, I just want to come to you right now and say thank you for everything that you have blessed us with, God. We remind us, God, that we're made in your image, right? That we can learn all the financial literacy in the world, God, but we're rich in you, God. We're rich in you, and you've equipped us to go out here in this world and be called to use our gifts, to use our resources that are so much more valuable than money. But at the same time, God, you put these resources on earth so we can learn how to better handle our money, so we can be smarter, so we can probably tithe smarter, so we can give, and so we can use money as a tool, because money isn't just some material object that we just throw up in the air and watch it fall down and stuff like that. This is something, God, that is a tool that we can provide a safe space for young adults, for any kids age of basic literacy, for them to go out here and use their skills, use their tools, invest in themselves, and invest in the resources that you provide, God. So I just thank you for everyone that showed up tonight and learned in this class or took something from it. In Jesus' name, I pray for nothing but prosperity, abundance of wealth, and prosperity, as well as financial stability to everyone that comes across this video. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. All right. So I ain't gonna lie. I kind of I don't have a hard time praying for money at all. It's a way kind of I like do things. I just pray to God for me to continue learning how to use money, right? So I can teach these kids correctly. I want to teach these kids how to effectively use their money. And I want to show these kids. So if I go up to any kid, guys, and I say, do you how do you become a millionaire? They're gonna think football, they're gonna think rapping, they're gonna think all this stuff. They don't know that, listen, you could be 20 years old, 20 years old, get yourself $1 million life insurance policy. Let's say you're paying $30 a month for $1 million life insurance policy. God forbid something happened, you pass away in a car accident. 3 days later, your family's gonna get a check for $1 million. But you weren't aspiring to be a millionaire. You were just protecting your family, right? So there's so many different steps that we can take to actually provide that wealth to our families and without like slaving ourselves for the money. So another day is always another opportunity to stay rich in God. If anybody wants a Rich in God hoodie, again, it's got the logo on the back. I know summer's coming up, but still, I mean, I got hoodies, t-shirts. So if you guys want to make any orders, I actually have the website. My website and everything is on my actual page. So another day is always another opportunity. Y'all have a blessed day.